Hello and welcome to Carla Knits. This is a podcast about knitting, crocheting, and always all of the yarny goodness that I love. Today is Saturday, September 7th, and I'm coming to you from my home in Nebraska. I was so happy when I woke up this morning. There was a chill in the air. My husband Jeff and I took a walk this morning, and when we walked, it was in the upper 40s. So definitely fall is on its way. So very excited about that. You can find me other places on social media. I am cbcraftygirl on Instagram and Ravelry, and those places, as well as patterns I talk about, make-alongs I talk about, will be linked in the show notes down below. So I feel I have a few things to discuss first before we get into the knitting for today. We have a few things going on in our Ravelry group, so I just want to share those items first. So we do have a Ravelry group for Carla Knits, and we've had a couple make-alongs going on, so we're going to talk about those. We have some swaps going on. I'm going to talk about those. So here we go. We just completed the Merry Makealong. This was a Christmas make-along which started July 1st and went through the end of August. This was to do any Christmas gift knitting or make something special for ourselves for Christmas. So there were so many people participating in this. It was so great to see all of the beautiful things that you have finished. I know I've been sharing them over the course of the last few podcasts, and so you guys have all done just a great job, and it must feel just great to have some of those Christmas gifts completed already. But I drew two winners from the thread. There was one thread on Ravelry, and each of these winners will receive a $10 pattern prize, or up to $10, so it could be a couple patterns of their choice on Ravelry. So the first comment, or I did a random number generator, and the first number that was picked was 119, and that post was by M's Little Nest. That is Emma. Congratulations. And Emma made a number of beautiful projects participating in this make-along. And then the next number that was picked was number 15, and that is Fern Mama Makes, and that is Stephanie. And she also made several items over the course of this make-along. So a big congratulations to you, Emma and Stephanie. If you want to reach out to me on Ravelry with your pattern choices, I will gift those to you as soon as I hear from you. All right, next item of business is the 12 skeins of Christmas mini skein swap. So signups have closed for that, and I will be pairing people up this week. So over the course of this week, just at some point during the week, make sure that you check your Ravelry messages to see who your partner or partners are. And at that point, you can contact your partner and exchange, introduce yourself, exchange some information about yourself, share a little bit maybe about your crafting background, share favorite colors, and decide between you if you are going to exchange additional things in that swap. So example, a full skein of yarn, extra little goodies, progress keepers, stitch markers, treats, things like that. There are a few who are doing the no frills option, and so you know who you are. So when you get paired up, you should also contact your partner, and again, exchange information, introduce yourself. This is a great way to meet people who love to do the same thing as you. So just make sure to contact them, and then you can exchange your mini skeins. These packages should go out no later than November 1st. So that is the deadline. So when you are swapping with your partner, plan on sending that out by November 1st. If for some reason you are unable to fulfill your commitment, because I know things come up, please contact me, because I don't want anybody to be left without a swap package. So Just putting that out there. Great. Next swap. This one is still open. There was enough interest that we are going to do it. So the fall cozy swap I did announce on the last podcast, and this was brought up to me by a viewer of this channel. And the idea is to knit or crochet either a cup cozy or a mug cozy for your partner. And if you want to include a few additional little treats in there, keep it low cost, little treats in there, you are welcome to do that. So I have heard from a few people. I'm going to say you have until September 15th to contact me. After that, I will be pairing you up through Ravelry message. And then we're going to say you have a month turnaround. So the swap package, or the little swap fall package, should go out no later than October 15th. So that'll be a fun package to receive sometime in October. If you have any questions about that, there is a thread on Ravelry. You could put any questions in there. This is supposed to be just a really, really low stress, fun little swap. It does ask you to crochet or knit something for your partner, but it's a pretty small item. So I think that's definitely doable within a month's time. So if you are at all interested, make sure that you contact me. All right. Finally, we had a Labor Day hat make along over Labor Day weekend. So it was 4 days, Friday through Monday, and there were so many people participating in this and chatting about it, talking, sharing patterns, just having fun. And you know, I did not hop in as often as I would have liked to have. The weekend got really busy, and I did not have Labor Day Monday off of work. We still have a day of school at the college on Labor Day, so I was still laboring on Labor Day. So I was glad though that all of you were chatting amongst yourself. It was really fun. So I'm going to share the finished objects here. I think it was about 14 or 15 hats. So here we go. Crafting in TX, that's Texas. So these are Ravelry usernames. Crafting in Texas. Made 2 hats. These are so sweet with really plushy, velvety yarn, a bear hat and a pumpkin hat. Carnzy made 3 hats. She has 3 one chunky cable hat. I think they're all chunky cable hats, but 2 are the same pattern. So 3 cable hats. Knitting Dancer completed a beautiful red hat. Harkness Angels made the Scrappy plied 2-night strand hat, and that was one of the patterns I shared that I was interested in making. Yarn It Heidi made the Oats Beanie, which was a new pattern that came out, I believe, the first day of the Make-Along, so that Friday, by Amy Kate. So that was a beautiful pattern. It was free that day. I believe it's a paid-for pattern now, but her patterns are very, very reasonably priced, and that was really pretty. M's Little Nest made a Scrappy hat. Crafty Melon made a marled hat. Bork P, a very pretty pink, the hat with the pink brim. I thought that was really lovely. Amy Has Time made a cable hat. Roselba B, a bulky hat. And Textile Grad completed a hurricane hat. So these were just lovely, and it was really fun to have that, you know, short-term project to work on, and I will be sharing my hat here very shortly. I will mention, if you enjoy making hats, my friend Darcy over at Chit Chat Knits is hosting a hat make-along, or it's Warm Ears Mal, and I will put the hashtag here. This starts on September 16th and goes through November 1st. And this could be hats, this could be ear warmers. And I will link to her group and to that thread so you can get more information. But she's hosting it in her group and over on Instagram. So if you love knitting hats, this is a great way to jump in to a make along and maybe meet some new friends and share what hats you are working on. All right, that brings us into the knitting. I will share quickly what I'm wearing. This is my Derecho. I never know how to say that word. I should know how to say that word. Derecho or Derecho top. I think I finished this last summer or 2 summers ago. I'm losing track of time. It is out of a remix yarn. I'm not very prepared today. I really like the feel of this, but I don't like the bottom hem. The hem, I'm not going to stand up, but the bottom hem rolls up. So I've talked about this with my in-person knitting friends that I would like to, I would like to go back and maybe just pick up before it has a split hem, maybe before the split hem, and just re-knit the bottom of the sweater. And I might just do it with like a little rolled hem, an intentional rolled hem. So the back lays flat, the front rolls. So so I don't wear this very often because of that, because I don't think it looks very polished out in public. So, but it's a really nice sweater. It's a really nice sweater. I'm very comfortable in it. So that's the Derecho sweater. I'll link to it down below. Finished objects. All right. From last time I had one of these completed, but I have finished, my daughter-in-law Kelsey's socks for her birthday, which is coming up in this next week. So a pair of Rose City Rollers. That's a pattern by Mara Catherine Bryner. This is the second time knitting this pattern. And the yarn that I used is Maker's Haven, and it was the color of October. And I think these turned out really, really fun. And I've said before, my daughter-in-law Kelsey really loves Halloween. So I thought these would be a really fun pair of socks for this fall, and specifically for Halloween. But I feel like these could be worn throughout the fall. Yeah, so I'm very happy with how these turned out, and I definitely will continue to make more. This is only my second time knitting this pattern, and I shared when I made my first pair, which was kind of a bright green speckled pair this summer. I don't know why I waited so long to knit this pattern, because I really, really enjoyed making these. So that is my first finished object. My second, let's see, I'll put those up there. My second is my hat that I made for the Labor Day hat make-along. And this is the Scrappy Marl by Beata Jezek, or Jezek. That is the dyer behind Hedgehog Fibers. So this was her pattern. This is a free pattern on Ravelry. I will put it on. Let's see. So there's a little bit of slouch at the top, but I think it turned out really cute. My bangs are a little long, so they're kind of getting in my eyes. But yeah, I think it turned out really, really cute. I will say, what should have been a relaxing hat project for me with this was not. Not because the pattern was hard, but because, I planned to use scrappy yarns. And so me trying to pick different colors to put together, it was almost too many choices to have. So the brim, I had started with really high contrast, and I didn't like that. So 2 yarns that were very close together is what I settled on. And then I went into more of the the scrappy marled look. But I really had trouble between each section trying to figure out what to do next. And I would start and say, oh, I don't like exactly how that's looking, and go back. and try again. So there was some ripping out, or, you know, tinking back on my needles a couple different times. I do like how it turned out. I think it's cute. I think it's a bright, fun hat. It's kind of what I was craving, some bright, fun colors. So that did the trick with the fun, bright colors. But I think it was just too many choices over the course of the weekend, where if I had just been knitting a solid hat, I could have just kept going and going. But that's okay. I am very happy with how this turned out. And, you know, there are just so many things you could do. I could have just taken 2 skeins of yarn and just marled them the whole way for the whole thing, you know, and that sure would have been fine too. I just kind of wanted to dig through my scraps and try to put some scraps together. So this is my Labor Day hat. So again, thank you guys for participating. That was a really fun make along. All right, that brings us into whips. So this was kind of a spontaneous cast on. I had lunch not too long ago with a friend, and she is expecting her first grandbaby, who's a boy, and he's due in October. So I thought I would like to knit a pair of baby socks. So I have the first one done. This is a pattern by, it's just called Baby Socks. Free pattern on Ravelry. It's by Kate Atherley. I am just using leftover fingering weight yarn. This is by Adelaide Cottage. It's a Anna Green Gables one. I know I've shared this yarn before because I have a finished pair of socks in it. It's in the puffed sleeves color. But I thought this was kind of perfect for a boy, just really soft blues and some violets in there too. So that's the first little sock. And I haven't woven in my ends yet, but that's how you're supposed to, I mean, I suppose you could wear it with the cuff up, but there it is with the cuff folded over as they show in the pattern. And then I have the second one. I have done the ribbing for the leg of the sock, and I've just started the little heel flap. And this is how much I have left. And I was a little worried when I finished this one, and I made, there's three sizes in there, and I believe there's 3 sizes. I made the newborn size, and I did weigh this when it was completed, and it's about 6.7, 6.8 grams. And I know when I weighed the leftover, or what I had left, it was over 8. So I should be fine not playing yarn chicken unless my gauge were to change drastically, which I hope doesn't happen. But this has just been a fun little project. I think I just did this, it still took several hours, but I know I started it, I think it was on the same day. I think I did finish it, or maybe it was 2 days, but yeah, fun, quick little project there. And so I hope to get these done soon and off in the mail to that friend. I think that would be really fun. My other whip, or my next whip, I am very excited that I have finally cast this on. And if you've been, if you've been watching for a while, or at least the last several episodes, I've kept saying I wanted to cast this yarn on, but I have cast my Jack and Sally yarn on, and I am doing the socks 2 at a time, not on the same needle. I don't want to fiddle with that, but I thought I'm gonna cast these on at the same time. So I did the black cuff first, and then I started knitting on this, and then I picked up this. I'm gonna go to probably 6 or 7 inches from the cuff, and then I will put in the heel flap. So yeah, so I'm gonna go back and forth. So I knit on this for a while, then I'm gonna knit on this for a while. I'll go back to this to complete the leg, and back to this. I'll add in the heel on both. I kind of really like how that is working up, and it's really fun because it feels like I'm doing 2 different socks, so it's like 2 different little projects. This yarn is Always Be Kind yarn in the Jack and Sally colorway, which is a Nightmare Before Christmas reference, and these are going to be also for my daughter-in-law Kelsey. These will be for Christmas, and I hope she really likes them because she really likes that movie a lot. And this yarn was gifted to me by my birthday buddy Candy, so thank you, Candy. I think they are turning out really, really fun, and I was really happy to finally cake this yarn up and start working on this project. My final work in progress for today is my Luminous summer top. This is by Minimi Knit Design, and I have made quite a bit of progress since you saw it last. So where that little sugar plum, it is a Christmas one, where that little sugar plum marker is where I was the last time I showed it, and I have made quite a bit of progress. So this is my nighttime knitting. When I finally sit down in the evening, I usually start about 8 o'clock, and that's when, you know, we go for a couple hours, or we're sitting in the living room for a couple hours. And so I have dedicated quite a bit of time to this project. The yarn is Lion Brand LB Collection Cotton Bamboo Linen in the Sage colorway. I have used 4 skeins so far. I have a total of 7, so I think that is going to work out just fine. I think that really is going to work out just fine. So I'm on my 5th skein right now, 2 more to go. So I will just probably, when I hit the 7th skein, when it's time for the 7th skein, I probably will finish the sleeves off and then knit the remainder of the body, unless I don't need the 7th skein. But I think, I don't know, maybe I won't. I'm not sure. But at any rate, you know, if you've been watching, that this was originally going to be a different sweater. But I am very, very happy with how this sweater is going, and I like the feel of it in this yarn. It is nice and drapey. It is nice. It has been nice and cool to work with because we still have had some warm temperatures, so I have enjoyed this. Someone suggested, you know, even in the fall you could wear this under a jean jacket, and that would be absolutely really, really super cute. When I teach down at the elementary school, that room is so warm. So I think I definitely will be able to wear this for quite some time. So really, really excited. And I do have in my mind the goal of finishing this project this month. I would really like that. If you saw my August recap, you know, I have a few goals for this month. One was to finish the hat, which I knew that would be a quick finish. The Jack and Sally socks I would like to finish. I would really like to finish this. And then the shawl that I showed last time, the Age of Brass and Steam, if I get to that, back to that and work on that, that would be great. But I'm kind of limiting the amount of whips that I have on the needles. I think that's best for me right now. And I will look forward to doing like a fall cozy. I think that will be fun. Any small little project is always a welcome diversion. So just like the baby sock is a quick little project. Yeah, so those are my works in progress. I wanted to say thank you to several of you, friends and viewers, who reached out to me yesterday and I think this morning too to tell me that I had won a prize for the Crazy Sock Ladies Summer Sock Camp. I really appreciated hearing from you, And I wrote to I think this is what I wrote to you, Beth, that I appreciated my knitting friends looking out for me. And she wrote something like, knitting friends don't let friends leave yarn unclaimed, which I thought was just hysterical and just great. Which was so funny. So thank you guys. That was really sweet. I probably would have got around to watching it at some point, but I don't know for sure. I am behind on podcasts. I definitely am. So the last regular podcast episode I filmed right before school started. So I have 2 weeks completed now, and the weeks have gone well, but they have been very, very busy. This is definitely the busiest I think that I have ever been with my teaching. So I really come home quite exhausted, but I still managed to work on that knitting. You know, some nights I find myself kind of nodding off even at 7:30, which is, yeah, but I keep pushing because I want to knit, I want to crochet. So just got to settle into that routine and get used to it. But in the past, I've usually had a couple of afternoons off, and now I still do have my Tuesday afternoon. I keep Tuesday afternoon always free. That is my sacred time. I shouldn't say it like that, but that is my special time. So that's when I meet with my in-person knitting group, and we've been meeting together since 2013. So that is a special time that I set aside. So on Tuesdays, I do that, and I do other errands in the afternoon. But those other days, you know, I kind of work all day, so it's hard to get things done. It's hard to sneak in moments of knitting. I do try. I always have my knitting with me, so it'll be there. But that's why I kind of want to limit my projects and not put too many things on the needles, because I know that would feel pretty frustrating if I kept putting too many things on the needles and wasn't getting enough time to work on them. So that's what is going on there. We are trying to soak up our last moments of sailing. We went last night, only to discover that our motor didn't work. So we still got to enjoy our dinner on the boat, but then we had to lift the motor off and bring it home, and we have to get that serviced. So hopefully we can get that done in a timely fashion so we can hopefully still sail for a couple of weeks. We do have to have the boat out mid-October at the marina where we're at. One more thing to share. I will have a new video coming out soon, a sock tour of my sock drawer, and you'll find out how many pairs of socks I have knit for myself, and hopefully you'll enjoy seeing all of those different fun, bright colored socks. It was fun to go through all of those socks, and I know I've been talking about doing this for a couple of years, so here it will be, the much awaited sock tour. So be watching for that video to come out soon. I would love to hear from you what you are making. You know, are you switching over into fall making right now? Are you still working on Christmas gifts? Let me know what you are working on. I would love to hear that. So thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate each and every one of you for sharing along in my knitting and crocheting and yarny adventures. Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied here. So with that, I will say goodbye, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.